Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, August the 17th, 2017. Want to first and foremost give a big brother shout out to my little bro. Birthday is today. Happy birthday, my man. Love you. Sending many blessings, peace and blessings to you and your family. Enjoy your special day, my man. And on that note, today was also a special day for the stock market. The stock market gave up the ghost today. We had a price inflection point, ladies and gentlemen. For those in the Black Ops trading room, we had fun with this because we knew what was coming. I've been showing you guys in the last couple of videos here in YouTube land too. I've been showing you the crash alerts that we had for the week to begin the week with. And finally today, the market decides it is going to manifest those crash alerts. Remember what I told you, folks. The alerts, the rallying crash alerts, lead the market sometimes as much as 3 to 5 bars out. All right? So when we get these alerts, you got to pay attention to them. All right? Sometimes they manifest, sometimes they don't, but you got to pay attention to the intraday price inflection points. All right? That the 2-bar Charlie gives you. All right? Now, I've been pointing out, well, we've had these 2-bar Charlies, and when you get consecutive 2-bar Charlie setups like we've been seeing, the price action has no choice but to behave accordingly around those price inflection points. Here in the Dow, let me change this to the daily so you can see the full effect of the bar. All right. If you did not catch this move today, it's probably because you're not in the Black Ops trading room and that you don't have access to the 2-bar Charlie system. All right, you don't have those pulse waves. All right, 2-bar Charlie setup is a powerful system. The pulse waves are powerful intraday price triggers. All right, and that's what we look at, and that's what we wait for. We wait, let the market come to us. Sometimes we're buying pullbacks. Sometimes we're buying breakouts. Sometimes we're selling rallies. Sometimes we're selling breakdowns. It just ebbs and flows from day to day based on what happens in these markets. Well, today the Dow went down pretty low, as you can see here. Um, Reminds me of that episode of Bugs Bunny with with that monster in that lab with the ether, and he says, "I'm feeling mighty low." Well, that's what happened with the Dow today. It was feeling mighty low. Most of the selling occurred, though, after the 4 o'clock bell. The Dow futures got down, I believe it was 315 points. All right. The Dow cash closed, it settled down at 274.14. So that's still a significant move. All right. It's significant, especially with the low ranges that we've been dealing with. Is you can see here these tight ranges you've been seeing, you know, just creeping up, very tight trading range. But then here we did something. All right, I called the top of the market for you guys weeks in advance. I even gave you the date. I told you July the 31st, on or around July the 31st would be the top in the market. Remember, the alerts lead the market sometimes 3 to 5 bars out. All right, sometimes it's less, it's immediate. And as you can see, the top of the Dow futures right here on this daily chart is the Dow futures right here. This is the top. It's August the 8th. So you were alerted when this was going to take place. All right. Here's the 31st bar right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. And then the market topped out. All right. So within that space, within that span, we topped out. Then the market rolls over. That's what happened. Take a look at how the NASDAQ reacted. You can't make this stuff up, people. The algorithms are powerful. They're powerful forces of nature. All right. If this thing can stop spinning, we can move on to the next chart. Wouldn't that be great? Let's see the NASDAQ. Now, some of these are a little bit different too. That's why I want to show you. So I'm trying to pull these up, and I'm having a difficult time. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. So this right here is July the 27th when the NASDAQ topped out. NASDAQ topped out July the 27th, right? There you go. That's right there. That's dead on, folks. Can't make this stuff up. Let's look at the S&P 500. All right, here we go. S&P 500 right here. Same as the Dow, the August 8th, because the S&P and the Dow moved together. All right, let's look at the Russell. Let's see here. RTY, boom. Let's look at this Russell. All right, the Russell is July 25th. You can't make this stuff up, people. You can't. You cannot. You cannot make this stuff up. All right. But there you go. Okay. What can you say? The markets have repeatable patterns, folks. Repeatable patterns. I told you that this was the 2012 pattern. All right? But I told you it was the inverse. In 2012, we bottomed out. Now, what are we doing? We topped out. So this is going to go on for some time. We're looking into September, October for this thing now to bottom out. All right. So we could get a capitulation point or October surprise, whatever you want to call it. Markets are traditionally weak in September, October. So that just bodes well with the bear market that we're in right now. All right. So there you have it. Let's pull up the cash Russell for a minute, because the Russell feature is not going to give you that much data. So we have to pull up on the cash real quick. All right. So this is the daily chart of the cash. You can see it's bearish all day long. Let's look at the weekly though. The weekly, technically speaking, is still bullish. Even though you're in a downtrend channel, you're in a corrective situation right now. It could get deeper. This trend line right here of 1344.58 is going to be trend line support, and you don't want to see it close below that. All right, because then you enter the vortex and you enter the cumulus cloud of death, and at that point it can pull down these trend lines with it and cascade and crash through the Kumo cloud like a hot knife through butter, and you'll be in a full-blown bear market at that point. All right, you don't want to see that if you're bullish on the stock market. All right, that's not what you want to see. But that's what we're looking at. So we can't escape what is before us. We have to trade what we see. And right now, this is what we see. And it's getting nasty. Look at this. These bars are getting long. The Russell is really running away from the highs. It's pulled all the way away. You got trend line crossing right here. That's significant right there, folks. That's significant. That's the beginning of a bear market on the daily chart. So the Russell is leading the way down, just like I told you that seemed to be the case at the time, and it's proven itself to be that now. I also warned you guys about that US dollar bill, y'all. I warned you. You can't say that nobody told you. I told you, be careful with the dollar bill, y'all. All right? What can you say? We broke 94 today in the dollar before pulling back to 93.68. All right, the dollar is strong. The euro took it on the chin. All right, they're keeping this dollar now. See, that means they're at some kind of price point where they need the dollar to be temporarily. This was too low, so they allowed it to bounce back a little bit. And here you are. The dollar's a complicated animal. You just got to do what you need to do with it. Trade what you see with it, okay? It's still bullish right now until it's no longer bullish. Right now, it's gunning for the 95 handle. That's the trend line resistance right here on this daily chart, folks. Now, we're still in a well-defined downtrend. You see that, right, on the daily chart. But you can't ignore what's happening right here. We bottomed back here. Now it's trying to do a little something, something. All right, it's trying to do a little something, something. All right, pulling up the euro. You can see it's coming off, pulling further away from the highs. All right, it's giving some up here. It's giving it up. It's fallen from 119.39 to 117.45. All right, that's approximately 200 pips. All right, got some technical damage happening here. You lost momentum for one. It's a big deal. All right, you got it. You got to look at these things, folks. Got to look at these things for what they are. Got a ramp coming up here, which is cool. But is it gonna is there any floor to this here, or are we gonna cascade steep first and then come in? So only time will tell. We got a price inflection point with time, and that is August the 22nd is where we should bottom on or around August 22nd. And then you can get into the ramp. If we fall further and we get beyond the date here, it's going to be harder for it to get and catch the ramp. You get into a vortex around here. Pulls price down more. So I think we're going to see lower prices in the euro and higher prices in the dollar. I'm just saying. Let's look at Goldilocks and Three Bears. All right, here's gold. Gold is trying to really do a little something, something. It's getting up here. All right. All right. Here we are at this upper range right here now in this daily chart. We got momentum. So we could see finally a rally with a close above 1300 tomorrow. That will be great. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if the market has it in it. That'll be interesting. All right, let's look at silver. Can silver hold the $17 handle? All right. It's trying to look like its brother gold, but it's just not as strong yet. This was a nice move, but it needs follow through now. This is done. You're down can you recoup now? Market needs to recoup and get something going here. You got your trend lines, all everything, top side the Kumo cloud, which is nice, but this elongated pattern here is not a good thing because this tends to gravitate price down to it and just flop around, and you consolidate top side cloud. So you have sideways to slightly higher prices as the bias, but there's no real follow through up or down. All right, so we'll see what happens, man. You just never know. Looking at these markets, you just never know. Let's take a look at a couple of equities real quick. Let's start off with Hack. Okay, HACK. We're looking at Hack first on the daily. All right, it really came off today. You can see that here. All right, so it's losing momentum very, very rapidly. So this is a good thing as far as cyber threats go. The lower this is, the lower the likelihood chance of a major cyber event, and we can live with that. But if you're long this market, this is not good for your portfolio. So what you should be doing now is trading within the trend, and you should have got out somewhere around here if you were long. And you should be short or flat this stock right now. All right, let's look at Knick-Knack Paddywhack. NAK, Knick-Knack Paddywhack. Flat as can be for the longest time, as you can see here. Price virtually did not change. But now it's looking like price is trying to giddy up. All right, trying to giddy up. This is a wide consolidation cloud right now. So the question is going to be, can it break out of the cloud, or is this all noise since we are now within the Kumo cloud? Those are questions that will only be answered with time right now because it's too early to say what's going to be what. We just don't know. It's just now getting itself good into the Kumo cloud. Unfortunately, it could smack right back down again and come crashing down below this. So we have to watch it. But this is a good start. But this cloud, it has to clear this cloud. All right, let's look at dry ships. Dry ships has been flatline dead for the longest time. And that does not seem to be changing. It is dead in the water. There's nothing happening there. Your trend line is way up yonder because of all the splits. So technically speaking, you're at $250.43 until they can adjust the chart and do something. But this one's dead. There's just no trade here. There's no trade whatsoever. How about Pretty Ricky? You haven't looked at Pretty Ricky in a while. Let's see what Pretty Ricky's doing. Is Ricky still pretty? You betcha. He's topside the Kumo cloud, has his trend lines with him. And you got a possible rampage coming here, nice rampage. But you got this little valley to contend with. And it can vortex if you don't stay topsided past August the 21st. You got a vortex that could suck it below the cloud. So it needs to stay and get some momentum going here and close above this purple line of $7.85. Stay north of that, and I think it's good. It can ride this out and get some rampage and get somewhere in the neighborhood of $9-10. All right, let's take a look at XIV. XIV spells the coffin, the last nail in the coffin of the stock market. It has given up all types of ghost. It's done. It topped out, and the train has left the station. We were way back here, and now we're way down here. Who told you where this was going? I do recall I warned you how low it could go. And I used the weekly chart, and I showed you the trend line, which is right here at $65.14. Did I not say that? Well, here you are. All right. No real technical damage done to the chart just yet, believe it or not. It's just pulling back. You got mad rampage all up and through here. and you got time on your side too. Time differential is working, so you're good to go. You are good to go, but as momentum is turning down and price action is losing daily momentum, it's going to need to get that back. All right, so we don't know if it's going to close above $85.12 tomorrow. If it does, then it carries over positive momentum into next week, and we could take out these highs. Failure to do so, trend line becomes in play. You're coming down to 65 and change, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, GBTC. GBTC is green as can be. You see that there. All right, let's look at I don't want that. Let's look at the daily. Get back to our daily chart. All right, so you see it's chilling up here. You know, it's staying lofty, but it's going to need to close above $683.19 tomorrow, or it's going to lose its momentum and get into a full-blown corrective mode. So let's see what can happen. We did fill the gap. All right, we filled that gap here. I'm still not really satisfied with this run right here, but that may go. This is a close call, so this one may go. It may not pull back this far. It may just run from here. This is definitely one to watch, but it's not for the faint of heart because there's no pre or extended hours trading with it. So you're going to be prone to ignorant gaps of $100 or more at times. And if you got the wallet to sustain it, then so be it. But remember, it's gapping in your favor up when you're long. But what happens when it starts gapping down like that? So just keep that in the back of your mind. What goes up does eventually at some point come down. Looking at AMD now, we're going to stay in the Bitcoin space. All right, AMD losing more momentum. All right, which is not what you wanted to see. AMD just cannot get its act together. It's just not doing it. It's not doing it. Depressing. Nvidia, on the other hand, is still bullish. All right, it's been falling in sympathy with the stock market, but not that much. All right, you got gappage here. You filled the gap, but now you're coming back down to the trend line. Trend line is at 155.97, which we might possibly get that. But you do have a little bit of a ramp up here, all right? But you're time sensitive, price time sensitive. Got to do it. Basically, you got to do it tomorrow, basically, because it says August 18th. So you got to do it tomorrow, which means this market needs to, if it's going to come down to the trend line, do it tomorrow, but then reverse and close above 164.94. If it can do that, then it carries that positive momentum over into next week. So let's see what is really the dealio by going to the weekly chart and seeing if that confirms what we got. All right, the weekly is saying we need to close above 162.52. So that's all you really need to do is close above 162.52 in the weekly, and that'll be enough momentum to carry over too. So we'll see. It's looking like it could fall off a cliff though either way if it doesn't get that momentum close that it needs. So Bitcoin did pull back about 34% after hitting those new highs today. So we could be topping out. All right, we could be topping out for good. We'll see if we don't get that momentum that we need. All right, that's pretty much it for the chart segment. But now I need to talk to you. I need to holler at you about some things. Okay. First order of business. Part two, man. The youth of today, they're in trouble. Our young people are in trouble. They have no work ethic, and they expect everything to be handed to them on a platter. They expect profit without work. All right, they want a profit, but they don't want to get along the market. Okay, you can't profit if you don't get along the market. All right. So that's what they want. They want to profit without work. They want a paycheck, but they don't want to work for the paycheck. True story. I told you what happened at Subway. Now I got to tell you what happened at Wendy's. Okay, so I'm in Wendy's. All right. The Baconator is all that. All right. So I'm trying to get my bacon on, get my Baconator on, And this time, I'm in the drive-through and it's taking a little bit longer than normal. Now, Wendy's is better than all the other restaurants out there that serve burgers because their burger is made to order. It's not already sitting there waiting for you like McDonald's. Okay, when you go to McDonald's, your food was cooked, maybe hours ago before you got there. Wendy's, nah, that burger is made for you right then and there. So I'm in the drive-through waiting. It's you're gonna wait. You can wait about 5 minutes when you're in the drive-through. It's just how it is. It's Wendy's. But nah, on this day, I'm in the drive-through, man, for 20 minutes. I kid you not, 20 minutes. I'm like, what is going on? And I noticed that the car in front of me, the one that's at the front, the one that's in the front, who's at the window, the service window where you get your food at, he's basically parked, ain't moving. Just when I was about to lose all hope, he finally moves, and the line starts moving after that. So I get up to the window, and I'm like, "What in the world is going on?" That's what I said to the dude, the young man, up in the window, the drive-through window. He's like, "Man, the car, that was ahead of everybody, that van in front of y'all. They ordered five number fives, five number twos, five number threes, five number fours, five number fives, and two number sixes or whatever." I was like, "Word?" It's like, "Yes." I kid you not. The young man looked like he was about to cry. I'm like, "What? So what's the problem? Y'all in the business of selling food, right? You sell burgers. That's what you do. Why is that a problem? You made good money." The young man looked at me and looked at his supervisor and was like, "Man, the next car to come through here," something like that, something inaudible I didn't hear. And then he said, "I quit." And the manager, now I need to break this down for you because some of y'all like to know these things. The manager is a female, okay? She is of ethnic identity. The young man is Anglo-Saxon European descent. And he's like, "I don't have to do this. I have options," is what he says to her. She looks at him and just as calm and says, "Well, young man, you do what you feel you need to do. But let me remind you that the other individual who said the same thing you just said earlier today got fired. So if you want to get fired, you can go ahead and clock out." And he was like, "Well, I have options. I don't have to do this." So I interjected. And I said, "Excuse me, I hate to break up y'all's discussion, but young man, before you clock out, can you hand me my food? How about that? Can I get my food real quick? And then y'all can finish debating what y'all talking about. Just hook me up with my sandwich. Let Brup Man get his sandwich. Okay? Brup Man, fifth floor. Let me get my sandwich." And he looked at me and you could tell that he was somewhat embarrassed a little bit. And he didn't know how to take that. But I said, I repeated, I said, can you just give me my food before you clock out? In other words, I don't care what you do. Just give me my food. All right? I paid for some food. I want to get my food. And he starts whining and complaining to me. I'm like, "Look, man." I said, look here, bro. You got a job. Even if you don't like the job, you got a job. And I was like, if you had options, like you say, you had other options, clearly this was the best option of the other options that you had. Because obviously, if you had a better option, you would have taken that better option. If you did have a better option and you did not take it and you chose to come here and work in a dead end job, that is your fault. And someone needs to have a conversation with you about time management and proper choices, how to select a career and employment and things of that nature, how to go about making better choices, better selections. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I counsel this young man about selections when those that are under sign of my voice are probably questioning my food selection? But I don't have to explain myself to you. I wanted a Baconator, so I went to go get me a Baconator. How about that? So, anyway, this is an ongoing thing, as you see here, with young people with no work ethic. And no, I was not feeling sorry for him because I've worked in fast food before. Heck, what high school kid hasn't? And back in the day, first of all, you couldn't talk to your manager like that, or you'd be fired on the spot. Second of all, they made us work, man. We had to hustle. We had to beat times and clocks and other and records and things of that nature. Such and such did a drive through 15 seconds quicker than you. That kind of thing. You had to deal with that kind of pressure. So there was a push to be excellent in your work, no matter what you were doing. And I think that art has been lost. We live in an entitlement world now where everyone thinks they're owed a living. So I had to get that off my chest and give you that part of it. And you're probably saying, well, that has nothing to do with trading whatsoever. Get back to the markets. Well, I already covered the markets. So it's your fault if you didn't turn the video off after I told you I need to get some things off my chest. Anyway, moving along real quick. So the next thing I wanted to discuss is I was looking at one of the latest Alex Jones videos, and he had a dude on there, Rodney Howard Brown. Now, for those young people who are not familiar with this pastor has a history that goes way back. I'll nip it in the bud shell for you. He is a false teacher. He does not represent the Judeo-Christian faith, and that is a fact. If you doubt what I am saying to you, do a little bit of research and you will find out something back in the day before you were born, for you young people that are listening, going all the way back to the early 90s. There was a thing called the Toronto Blessing and this other move down in Florida and all this false stuff, this fake stuff. I will cover more of this at some point at a later date, and I can discuss it and I can talk authoritatively on the subject because I have some personal attachment to it. If you guys have not heard me say, if you're new to the channel, I knew a lot of these televangelists personally. All right? And I'll leave it at that. Anyway, we long in the tooth now, so I'm done. I'm done rambling. Postwavetrading.com. Come learn how to trade these markets, navigate these markets, learn about the algorithmic processes that go into these markets. Everything is an algorithm now, and without having an algorithm and understanding of how these things operate, you are at a disadvantage in your investing and everything else. Postwavetrading.com. Take the study course, learn what you need to know, that which the central banks do not want you to know. And with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back to these greedy central banksters. Peace. Had these two-bar Charlies, and when you get consecutive two-bar Charlie setups like we've been seeing, the price action has no choice but to behave accordingly around those price inflection points. Here in the Dow, let me pull up the Let me change this to the daily so you can see the full effect of the bar. All right. If you did not catch this move today, it's probably because you're not. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. This end of day report is for trading on Thursday, August the 17th, 2017. Want to first and foremost give a big brother shout out to my little bro. Birthday is today. Happy birthday, my man. Love you. Sending many blessings, peace and blessings to you and your family. Enjoy your special day, my man. And on that note, today was also a special day for the stock market. The stock market gave up the ghost today. We had a price inflection point, ladies and gentlemen. For those in the Black Ops trading room, we had fun with this because we knew what was coming. I've been showing you guys in the last couple of videos here in YouTube land too. I've been showing you the crash alerts that we had for the week to begin the week with. And finally today, the market decides it is going to manifest those crash alerts. Remember what I told you, folks. The alerts, the rally and crash alerts, lead the market sometimes as much as 3 to 5 bars out. All right? So when we get these alerts, you got to pay attention to them. All right? Sometimes they manifest, sometimes they don't, but you got to pay attention to the intraday price inflection points. All right? That the 2-bar Charlie gives you. All right? Now, I've been pointing out what we've in the Black Ops trading room and that you don't have access to the 2-bar Charlie system. All right? You don't have those pulse waves. All right? 2-bar Charlie setup is a powerful system. The pulse waves are powerful intraday price triggers. All right? And that's what we look at. And that's what we wait for. We wait, let the market come to us. You know, sometimes, we're buying pullbacks, sometimes we're buying breakouts. Sometimes we're selling rallies, sometimes we're selling breakdowns. It just ebbs and flows from day to day based on what happens in these markets. Well, today, the Dow